Planning your data analysis in quantitative research, you also need to consider your research problem, type of data, hypothesis, and scale used in your research instrument. This lesson focuses on designing your data analysis procedure. Data analysis in research is a process in which gathered information are summarized in such that it will yield answers to the research question. During quantitative data analysis, gathered information break down and ordered into categories in order to draw trends or patterns in a certain condition. In quantitative research, the numerical data collected is not taken as a whole. In order to understand it better, it is analyzed into components based on the chosen research variables and research questions you are going to answer. These numerical data are usually subject to statistical treatment depending on the nature of data, the type of research problem it is presented.
Planning your data analysis before choosing what statistical test is appropriate for your research study, it is important to determine what statistical formation is applicable to your current study. In immersing yourself into planning your data analysis, you have to decide what basic perspective statistical technique you are going to use. Although this technique does not give you the degree of association or effect between variables, this will help you to code and simply tabulate your data. Descriptive statistical techniques provide a summary of the ordered or sequenced data from your research sample. Examples of these tools are frequency distribution measured of central tendencies, mean, median, mode, and standard deviation. Inferential statisticals are used when the research study focuses on finding predictions, testing hypotheses, and finding interpretation, generalization, and conclusion. Since this statistical method is more complex and has more advanced mathematical computations, you can use computer software to aid your analysis.
You also have to identify types of statistical analysis of variable in qualitative research. A univariate analysis means analysis of one variable. Analysis of two variables such as independent and dependent variables refers to bivariate analysis, while multivariate analysis involves analysis of multiple relation between multiple variables. Furthermore, selecting what text to use basically done by identifying whether you will use parameter text or non-parameter text. As these were already discussed in your statistics and probability subjects. As a summary of what to consider is presented below. The points to consider type of text. Points to consider type of text. Scale, interval, ratio, ordinal or nominal scale, parametric test, and non-parametric text. Sample size, 30 or more per group, fewer than 30. Parametric test and non-parametric test. Distribution of data. Normal distribution, data debates from normal distribution. Parametric test and non-parametric test. That's all. Thank you.
In addition, in choosing statistical techniques in quantitative research, the purpose or objective of the research study should be considered. Test of relationship between two variables. Persons are parametric, pi coefficient, non-parametric for nominal and dichotomous variables. Spearman's law, non-parametric for ordinal variable. Test of difference between two datasets from one group. T-test for dependent samples, parametric. McNem or change test, non-parametric for nominal and dichotomous variables. Wilcoxon signed rank test, non-parametric for ordinal variables. Test of difference between two datasets from two different groups. T-test for independent samples, parametric. Two-way chi-square, non-parametric for nominal variable. Mann-Whitney U-test, non-parametric for ordinal variable. Test more than two population means. Analysis of variance or ANOVA, parametric. Test the strength of relation or effect or impact, regression, parametric.